Okay, thank you. Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm David Bell, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here at the XC Expo. Final day, and it's been a wonderful 3 days of an event. Some of you may have caught me on the morning show with Mr. Nick Luby, where we've been doing the breakfast show, interviewing lots of fantastic guests and having the opportunity to find out about their business, about their journey and what's made them successful and how they have changed the world. You just saw a short video there, which is all about how technology, the internet, and the pandemic, the recent pandemic, has impacted us as businesses, as individuals, as a nation, not just here in the UK, but of course globally around the world. The Spanish flu back in 1918 killed in excess of 50 million people. And there's no doubt that had an impact on the future from there. The recent pandemic, March the 23rd, 2020, started to impact us all. But has it changed our lives forever? Or do we find ourselves in a new world, a new brave world, as I keep hearing those words? What does the future look like? How has technology adapted? And how have we had to change the ways that we work and the ways that we deliver our business, pivoting from real world scenarios such as having retail outlets, meeting coffee shops, working in offices, going to universities, colleges, schools, even the simple things in life, like having a walk in a park with your friends and your family. That all changed for all of us on that pivotal day back in March last year. Now, we don't want to look at the doom and gloom, of course not. We want to look at the future. What is going to happen? How are we going to rebuild the things that we were so used to, the things that, I took for granted, going out every day, maybe having a walk, jumping in the car, going to the office, meeting up with my friends and my colleagues. How are we going to rebuild that? The handshakes each day we used to have, maybe the cuddles, the kisses, the fist pumps, the close contact that we used to once upon a time have. Will that return for us as of next week on Monday the 17th, when we will be able to integrate even more inside? Come June, will we find ourselves being able to do a lot more? Are we going to have those restrictions lifted? Are we going to be able to join together and rebuild and return to the same types of businesses that we once were used to? My journey started many years ago when I was 17 years old. I set up a technology company providing computer services to local businesses in and throughout Essex. Yes, I'm an Essex boy, born and bred, and very proud of it, to say the least. When I first started my first business, it was through planning, of course, but I was very young. I was naive. I didn't know what the future really held. And did I have a fantastic business plan, or did I know the steps moving forwards? No. but I wanted to do something for myself, and I wanted to build a business that was going to become successful. And over the years, we grew as a company. I brought on a business partner in the first 3 or 4 months of actually launching the business, and we worked together for the next 20 years. The company took many dynamic changes. It pivoted a number of times to a point we become a wireless specialist, providing solutions, not just here in the UK, but in the continents such as Africa, into Americas, and also into the Middle East and Europe. It was a great journey, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we had a fantastic team of engineers, technicians, support staff, administrators, sales, marketing, the list goes on. And we were known as one of the top application partners. In fact, Motorola, most of you know Motorola from the old flip phone days. Some of you might know what they call PMR, private mobile radios, which the police and other security services and blue light services use. We were a Motorola application partner, and we were the biggest and most successful EMEA, Europe, Middle East and Africa application partner for Motorola, actually becoming an award-winning application partner in the late 2008, 2009. But my day come in 2014, I decided to leave and go on a new journey, embark on a new journey. And I set up Symbok Limited. And Symbok is all about helping startups, more established organizations, SMEs, on their journey of success through using things like executive coaching and advice, but focusing on the technology within their organization, how you can systemate, automate processes, day-to-day things that happen when you're sleeping, or maybe when the time returns, when you're on the beach, laying out on your towel, on your deck chair with your cocktail in hand. You know your business is in safe hands because, one, you have a great team around you, but secondly, you have automation and systems in place that mean things happen when you are sleeping or when you are away from the office. Most business owners start their business to seek more flexibility, more time, more money. And lots of business owners I work with, that is part of the reason they do what they do. Yes, there's more to it, and I'm not putting everybody into the same basket, of course not. But quite often the businesses I work with say, I want to start up on my own because I want that flexibility. I want the time off to be able to go and visit my son or daughter at their school play. I want to visit their sports day. I want to have the time off when I want the time off. And I want to earn my own income and be in control of that destiny so I can price the project. And I know when I win that work, the money that's generated into my business is going to help me. But quite often when I ask them in 12 months, 18 months time, how did that work out for you? Quite often they say two things. David, I'm earning less money and I have less time. I'm working harder than ever. Now that tends to be just the startup phases. That tends to get easier and business become more successful. You surround yourself with great people and they help you on that journey. But for me, technology is such an important part in everyday life. I love technology. I work with technology. I enjoy it from a hobbyist point of view, trying new things, making sure, you can connect and make things happen. Automated lighting. Maybe some of you will have smart devices throughout your home as well. And it can make our life simpler. And it can sometimes make it more complex. But what I want to really focus on is technology in the workplace, technology in your everyday life. Since most of us entered the pandemic phases, we learned that, or we were forced to, start using digital platforms such as Zoom, Teams, Google Hangouts. Most of us didn't have much experience at using these platforms, but boy, did we learn quickly how they are going to operate, how we're going to utilize them. Quite a lot of our businesses had to pivot and change because we couldn't open the shop doors. We had to rethink about how we present our business in a digital world. So I'm going to share with you now some tools, my top 10 tech tools to help your business flourish. And I know some of you are going to say, well, David, we're coming to the end of the pandemic. So, from that perspective, are these tools going to be useful for me going forwards? Well, absolutely, because I do believe we are in a hybrid. I heard Mark talking about it in the previous keynotes. We're in a hybrid area where what's going to happen? We're going to return to the real world. We're going to get back to face. But for lots of us, we will carry on utilizing digital platforms for communication, connectivity, and relationship development. We probably won't jump in the car when we've got that next meeting in London if we can make it on a video conferencing call, and just dial in and be there in the room. Collaboration is so simple these days on the digital tools. If you're using Teams or Zoom, you can share documents in real time. You can join meetings. We can join virtual events and expos like we are here. And how amazing is the expo that we're at here today? You can go around, visit people, talk to people, have chats, go virtual networking, listen to great speakers, join workshops. The platforms are developing all the time. And there is time to time, there's teething problems. Technology has that way of interfering when we least expect it. But at the end of the day, it's allowing us to do more. How many of you have been out there virtual networking, joining these networking groups? But now you're not just limited to your on the doorstep stuff where, within an hour of your home, you can join virtual networking groups around the country, around the world. You can go and experience different cultures and build new and very varying different relationships. Join talks from Australia to the USA. It doesn't matter where you are. You can participate, be a speaker, or sit back in the first class seats, the VIP seats from home, because you can now sit front row, screen in front of you, even in your slippers and pants, if that's what you want to do. You can do that in the real world, but you can if we're working from home or from our home office. So I'm just going to load in my final set of slides, which I'm going to share with you now. And I'm going to take you through my top 10 tips and apps. What I will also do is I will share all these apps with you as well. Okay, so you'll have the opportunity to download these, try them yourself if you wish to do so. Some of them you may have used, some of them you may be using, but I think there's a couple in here. Hopefully you'll go away with and go, wow, that was great. That's going to make such a big difference to the way I work digitally online. So let's dive straight in. Let's have a look what's in this amazing toolbox of apps. So we are in the Zoom boom, okay? Some of you have been Zooming for probably pre-pandemic stages, but most of us, as I say, jumped in when we were forced to back in March last year. And that meant confusion. We ended up with lots of noise on these calls. If you're sitting at home, you've got children running around, a dog barking, the builders are outside, your wife, your husband, your partner, that can create a lot of noise all around you. And it can sometimes be a little bit embarrassing. I think we've become used to it, but it can be embarrassing, can't it? You're sitting there and all of a sudden your kids are shouting out, screaming. You could be in a coffee shop. You could be back in the workplace. And there's still all this ambient noise in the background, which is off-putting, distracting, and can be embarrassing. So a really great tool, okay, is called Krisp. It's a artificial intelligence tool, but you load it onto an app onto your device, Windows and Mac based, okay? And I will share all the links with you in the chat afterwards. So feel free to write them down. I have some affiliate links as well, which means you get access to them for a period of time for free, or you'll get some type of bonus by utilizing them, and gives you an opportunity to play and try. So I'll pop all those into the chat. But Krisp is a great app, and what it does, it removes all that background ambient noise. It's so good that you can actually have music playing, okay, in your room next to you, and the people listening cannot hear that music, but they can hear you clear and crisp. Now, if you don't believe me, download the app and try it, because when you set it up, you actually go through a setup phase. It's really simple. It's about 4 or 5 clicks, and it gets you to listen to the music and then actually talk over it and see if you can hear the music in the playback format. So it's really quick and easy to set up, but it's a fantastic app. So the next time you're doing your next virtual meeting, it doesn't matter who's around you. It doesn't matter who's shouting and screaming, because this is going to be your perfect audio tool. And it works in all of the video conferencing platforms and a lot more as well. Curve. Now, we're all used to payments, but we've been forced to be using more digital payments. So, tapping, retailers are not wanting cash these days. I think cash is going to be a thing of the past. Subjective, you may agree or disagree, but we will see the demise of cash. And I know most of you will have credit cards, debit cards, using Apple Pay, Google Play, etc. But Curve is a kind of an innovator. They're a challenger in this new market. And what Curve is basically a card, as you can see here. You can sign up to it at imaginecurve.com, but don't do that just yet. I'm going to give you an affiliate link, which gives you £5 to also get the card and try it as well. And there's no obligation and no commitment. They don't credit check you when you sign up for this. That's another really nice thing. So all you're doing is they're providing you an interface. This card is simply an interface. It bears the MasterCard logo, because wherever MasterCard is taken, you can use your Curve card. And in a nutshell, you download the app, you put it on your phone, and then you, bit like Apple Pay, you connect any of your debit, credit cards, business cards, personal cards, savings accounts, whatever they may be, to the Curve card. And then using the app quite simply, you get a card, a physical card as well. Okay, I have mine here with me. I have the red one. Okay, I don't know if you can see that just in the video there. But what you can do is you can simply go up and tap and pay, chip and pin, swipe if you need to. You can even load it into Apple Pay as well, or Google Pay or Android Pay, and pay directly out of your phone. But the best bit about it is when you do is you load all your cards in, okay, and they're in the actual app, and then you can throw away your wallets because now you don't need them because everything is done through the Curve app, and you can go in there and you can select the card that you want to pay with, okay, and that's it. You use your Curve card to pay, and it takes it from that credit or debit card. There's lots of other great advantages, by the way. For example, one of the big advantages is if you're going to be going back traveling, I know, exciting foreign currency exchange, you can take money out of the cash point and there's no surcharges, and you get interbank rate as well, okay, which you don't get from get my words out today. You don't get that from euro currency exchanges, etc., from the Bureau de Change. You will get it through this card. So you don't have to carry cash or the old-fashioned traveller's checks. The one card allows you to go to an ATM and withdraw money, and you're going to get the best rate on the day, updated on the day. Lots of other functions, lots of other features like locking the card, security, money back, and all the great functions and features you'd expect. Have a look at it. I promise you, it will be a game changer for business expensing through to personal expensing. As I say, there is an offer. I will share the link in the chat, but you can use that code that's on the screen there, DVWY9, and you get a £5 bonus loaded onto your card. So you can go and spend £5, go and buy coffee or something like that. Treat your partner to a bunch of flowers or a box of chocolates for nothing. And if you don't like it, throw the card in the bin and don't use it. Otter, I'm going to rattle through these. Really great app. Okay, if you're doing lots of video conferencing, what this does, it transcribes all your meeting into meeting notes. Okay, so you can actually send digital versions, i.e. PDF, which can be printed, to any people that joined your meeting. And it's simply, if you're in Zoom or Teams, you download the video afterwards or the audio, you pop it into Otter. There is some direct connections as well, make it even easier. And it transcribes it within literally several minutes. What you get afterwards, you can see who was speaking and what they said. The transcription is pretty awesome. Okay, sometimes there's a few flaws if people have strong accents or they didn't speak too clearly, but it literally transcribes that whole meeting, puts it into digital format. You can use it for lots of other things like creating closed captions for videos that you may be creating as well. Look up Otter. Again, a referral link there gets you a lot more minutes for the first month, so you can try it. 6,000 minutes you get per month with the referral link. After that, it's about 600 minutes. So still plenty of time for doing those transcriptions of those all-important meetings. Calendly. How many of you have integrated Calendly into your calendars, allowing people to choose a time and date in your calendar, which allows you to book as much in as you need to, but you are in control of your calendar? Shall we see how it works? Because I've got a short video which explains it really, really well.
Scheduling meetings with people outside of your company should be easy, but it's not. Everyone's on different schedules in different time zones, so you have to send 4 different emails just to set something up. Calendly eliminates the back and forth. When you want to schedule a meeting, just share your link. Invitees can only pick from time slots that follow the rules you've created, so you're always in control of who you meet and when. Once your invitee picks a time, the meeting is added to all of your calendars. Calendly works with your most common business apps, securely integrating with your calendar, so it always knows your availability, automatically creating your web conferences, and updating your CRM as meetings are scheduled. It even sends invitees a reminder before the meeting. You can embed your Calendly link on your website and include it in your sales and marketing campaigns. Calendly is even more powerful for teams. You can pool availability of multiple team members, then either schedule a meeting that works for everyone, or assign meetings based on availability and priority. Invitees will love being able to schedule without all the back and forth emails. And you'll love being able to focus on the work that really matters. Because in the end, it's not just about saving time. It's about building better relationships and getting more out of every day. To start using Calendly, sign up for a free trial today.
There you go, guys. Calendly, I'd highly recommend it. Get organizing, get control of your calendar and your teams. It will save you time. It will save you money. It will save back and forth. Some will debate it. Some will argue it's impersonal. But if it's used in the right ways, it can be a super tool. Loom, great one. Screen recording. Download this if you have to share how to do things. If you want to share with your teams, with your customers, with your suppliers, Loom is great. It allows you to do screen recording, not only of a mobile device, but of your desktop, and allows you to kind of talk through videos. I'd highly recommend it. I'm using it all the time now to basically share content and to help people to do things, because show and tell is so powerful rather than drafting out lots of emails. Evernote, one of my favorite tools. I've been using this since 2009, and it's a great tool. It's my digital notepad. I take it everywhere on my iPad, on my desktop. I have it on my phone, and I'm using it for everything that I do. I probably use this as one of my top apps in my itinerary toolbox of apps. Have a look at it. I think you'll find it super useful. You can still, by the way, I still like pen and paper, so you can still write things down, but you can then snap the image, imports it into Evernote. But what it does, it reads through your handwritten notes and it makes them searchable. So now you've got your electronic filing cabinet, which you can search for by keywords or by content that's in your handwritten or digital notes. Really, really good. Will highly recommend it to anybody who wants to get organized and keep everything in one place. Bolt onto that Scannable. That's the scanning app. So you can just use your phone, take a picture of any document, photo, business card, and it will scan it. It will transcribe the data out of it and put that into Evernote directly. And again, it will file it for you accordingly. So you're into your big filing cabinet. So that's the app that sits alongside. By the way, Scannable's free. Evernote has a free version. There is a paid for version, about £40 per year. Get yourself a business card scanner. I haven't used that many business cards, but we will return to the real world where we're going to be getting lots of business cards. Scan those cards and it will store them digitally. You can push them into the likes of Evernote or your CRM system, or even to something simple like Google Contacts or Google Sheets. No more keeping the cardboard or printed business cards. You can pop those in the bottom drawer like most of you do, but at least you've got all that content saved digitally that makes it very accessible and very easy to get to when you need to. Go for a virtual business card. Lots of you have been networking virtually. How have you been giving your details? Probably a cut and a paste from the text that appears into the chat box. You've probably got some kind of scratch pad that you've predefined, and you can copy and paste it. Works really well. But go one step further. Go and get yourself a digital business card. Lots of different platforms out there. This is Go Paperless. Works really, really well. There's a cost to it, but it's no more expensive than spending money on printed business cards. And of course, always in your pocket. Always can take it with you, and it allows you to tap devices using near field communications as well, which means you don't even have to get close to somebody anymore. You can literally beam it across to them through various different technologies. So get yourself a virtual business card. Is this what's going to happen in the future? Are we going to see these kind of augmented reality kind of cards like you see here, where you use a QR code or an NFC chip and it pops out more content in front of us that you can then read or click or access? This is coming, guys. It's in trial now. There's things out there that are happening which will blow our minds in the future. Mile IQ, really great one. If any of you are back out there driving, traveling, you're going to need to log your business miles. Mile IQ is part of Office or Microsoft 365 Business Pack, so you get it for free. Otherwise, it's about £5 per month. But this is great. I have this running on my phone in the background. Doesn't use any battery power, but it logs every single drive that I do. And it doesn't matter if it's personal or business, because then it comes up on the screen. I just go through it once a week, maybe once a month. Swipe left for personal, swipe right for business. So really easy to categorize your different journeys, and then at the end of it you just output it as a output document in spreadsheet or in a PDF, send it to your accountant and let them calculate all your business miles. And of course it logs all the journeys and shows all those journeys as well. So it could be great if you have teams and you want people to be logging their mileage, because obviously that's tax beneficial, and also they might be claiming their mileage back from a business perspective as well. So look up Mile IQ. And finally, password security. This is a bugbear of mine. I come across so many people that write their passwords on pieces of paper, have simple to remember passwords like password or password 1234 or something along those lines. And people are getting clever now, by the way, because they're actually putting password and they're substituting letters like the A for a 4. So capital P and then the number 4 and then maybe 55. Look, people are getting this, people are getting hacked all the time. You need something better. You can't just write it down in a notepad. You can't start to memorize it. There's no point in post-it notes all over your desktop. You need something that's going to keep all this content secure in one single place, in a security vault. Now, there's lots of them out there like Dashlane, 1Pass, but I would highly recommend 1Password. Okay, it's what I use. I've been using it for years. Every password I have, every single one is unique. Every login I have is different. So if I get compromised on one platform, I don't have to go and change. Believe me, I've got 700 passwords because I know from the counter it stores them all. I don't have to go and change the other 699 of them because it's only that one that's been compromised. The rest are secure and safe. And of course, I can have them passwords as complex as I like. And that's often 13 plus characters of capitals, smalls, numerals, and special characters as well, all mixed up. Makes it pretty impossible to guess. So what are you going to do to secure yourself? So I would highly recommend looking at 1Password and utilizing that to secure your data in your future. And you can also bundle lots of other stuff in there like driving licenses, passports, keep all of those in a secure single vault. There we go. So I think we've pretty much come to the end. Time has run out. I have so much more I would love to share with you, but unfortunately, that's just not going to be the case. If you want to find out more about me, you can go to simboc.com, where I'll be happy to connect with any of you on the platforms of LinkedIn. You will find there's an About Me page on there. You can read a little bit more about David Bell, my journey to date, but more importantly, you can connect with me on those various platforms. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Come and find me at the Simboc stand if you want to learn more about how you can use technology in your business. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the show and look forward to seeing you all soon.